UFP, the United Federation of Podcasts.
Engage.
78 years have passed since the days of the original USS Enterprise. Now a new Galaxy starship has been designed.
Transporter Chief, beam our listeners aboard. Welcome to Galaxy Class, a Star Trek The Next Generation podcast on the United Federation of Podcast Network. I am Diplomatic Standard Bearer Kevin Scharf. With me this week are Counselor Amy Nelson and Head of Carpet Laying, Joe Keegan. How's everybody today?
I am well, yes. The carpet gets delivered on, I want to say on Tuesday, but it's actually Monday. Because if it was Tuesday, it would be a Generations reference, wouldn't it?
Yes.
So, yeah, I'm going to, try my hand at carpet laying. Not a euphemism for anything, just actual carpets getting delivered and I'm going to put it on the floor. So.
And which rooms? Are they the upstairs
Well,
rooms?
we thought the living room, so to describe the living room, one wall was kind of orange and gold. And the other walls were kind of nicotine stained. Not actual nicotine stained, but the colour. As if, I don't know, it was a smoking house, and it wasn't. So,
okay.
And yeah, with an orange carpet, kind of orange and cream carpet. Just super hideous. Not to our taste. So, we've been decorating kind of a light grey, and I've got a kind of a dark grey patterned wallpaper for the one wall that I'm going to try tonight. Wallpaper. Never done it before. So that'll be interesting. And then carpet's coming for the upstairs landing, hallway, and the stairs. So that's what I'm going to be carpeting. And I think we're going to put down kind of wood, laminate, vinyl flooring, something or other in the living room, which I'll also do myself. Which is just an excuse.
You can pay people to do this for you.
Then you're just paying people to do stuff that you can do yourself.
And Joe is a lifelong learner.
I am.
He enjoys learning.
Even after I die, I'll still be learning. I'm that committed.
Wow.
Amy, how are you?
I'm doing great. Enjoying my time in the summer. I leave for vacation on Thursday, so I will be off out and about. I'll be taking my leave for a couple weeks, but yeah.
Out and about. In Canadian, you would say out and about.
Yes. Is that right, Kevin?
Well, maybe to your ears.
Well, yeah. So,
because Americans say out and about.
Out and about. That was Australian.
Out and about.
Oh, wrong hemisphere. Oh dear.
Oh, well, where are you off to? Any place exciting?
Well, going up to Utah, visit friends and family, and then taking a family trip to Yellowstone, which was so cute because all 4th and 5th graders in the United States get to go to Yellowstone for free. Wow. And my niece happens to be going into 5th grade. So she filled out this little thing online. And so we get free entrance to the park.
Nice.
So she is contributing to our fun little family vacation. I'm very excited.
Yellowstone looks beautiful. I'm jealous.
Yellowstone is the super volcano, isn't it?
No, it's Yosemite.
No.
Is it?
Yellowstone is where Yogi Bear lives.
And
That's
Yellowstone
Jellystone.
has the geyser.
Yeah, no, I think
Old Faithful.
The whole of Yellowstone National Park, is that not like a super volcano? Is that not what erupted cataclysmically in the movie 2012?
I have no idea.
Remember the whole thing? It was what was it? The guy Woody Harrelson. Yeah, Woody Harrelson was the crazy conspiracy theorist, radio DJ guy that discovered there was a big conspiracy to save some of the population, but only if you were very rich. And he went to Yellowstone to see it erupt. I think the whole thing is an actual. So I'm going to Google it. Listeners, if you know, then please reach out and put us right on the science of Yellowstone super volcano. And I hope it doesn't erupt when you're there.
Oh, I'm sure it will.
Because
I'm sure it won't.
It's like a super volcano, so it'll take out like half the US.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I thought it was Yosemite, but maybe I'm wrong.
I have no idea.
Anyway. Well, while Joe Googles super volcanoes, should we move along into our communications array and see if we've got comments from the listeners?
Can we just talk about something for a minute before we do that?
Okay, yes.
I've just got Have we spoken about volcanoes before?
No, never.
Not that I could
Recently, because I've just got the strongest deja vu. Deja vu that is so strong that I'm maybe starting to think that I've had a premonition previously about recording this episode.
Okay, good. I'm glad you weren't saying that volcanoes are erupting, because now you were scaring me just a little bit. Getting worried about visiting Yellowstone with my family now.
No, because I've just happened upon a website, vox.com, and there's an article entitled "What Would Happen If the Yellowstone Supervolcano Actually Erupted?" And there's a picture of one of the geysers, now the hot pools of water, and it's just looking at it, looking at Amy, looking at Kevin, that image that's in front of me, and I was like, whew, my mind has been blown by deja vu.
That's a glitch in the Matrix.
I think
and
it
we've
is.
all just been reset.
It might be deja Q. Just saying.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe you're a Loki variant and the TVA will be coming to get you now.
We're all variants in that case.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So now is it time to check the communications array?
Yes, but I'm going to close that website down, so yeah, let's go ahead with that.
Okay, so let's see if we do have any comments from our listeners.
Logs accessed.
We have a comment from Jim Stoffel from our Picard episode where we made connections between Picard and TNG, episode 46, if you'd like to go back and listen. Jim writes, "So here is my rebuttal. Joe had problems with the Borg cube. Remember, it had been damaged and it was slowly being rebuilt, so it wasn't 100% functioning. And the big battle at the end, my take is that it has been about 13 years since the failed Romulan rescue. In that time, the Federation could have built a new fleet, and the Romulans could have built a secret armada as well. With all those Romulan planets still around in Romulan space, they could have been secretly built on those planets. You never know. And Commodore O's influence could have kept it as a secret, as she probably stole funds from the Federation to help with the construction."
So Commander O was like the banker in a game of Monopoly. Now, that's why I always, anytime I play Monopoly, I always go the banker and just secret away funds from my own wee stash.
Oh.
So like, I'm about 20 hotels on Mayfair or whatever your guys' equivalents are.
Have you played the Star Trek Monopoly? I played with my students during summer school.
Oh, wow. And you were still getting paid for that?
Yeah.
Wow.
It has to do with math and Star Trek.
Sure.
My two favorite things.
Clark County.
Still built.
Clark County people. What's the guy above your principal?
Yeah, I'm not telling you.
Yeah, you're super. If you're listening, I don't know, get that money back.
Jara, if you remember.
Oh, really?
Jesus Jara.
Oh, vaguely. Very good.
You guys, it was the craziest thing. We got a new superintendent. It had to have been, 2 years ago? And I didn't even know his name. But Joe is teasing me about, not working at school. And I'm going to contact your superintendent, Jara. And I'm like, who's that?
I've Googled it.
Joe knows my superintendent more than I do.
Not personally, just via Google. Because nowadays where you can Google stuff, find out anything you want. Jim, in terms of your comment, I still have a problem with that Borg cube. It could create transport conduits. It had force fields. It was habitable. It still had all the Borg drones and their wee Borg cubicle things. And it could summon technology. Now the portal device to the Sicarian, whatever it was, from Voyager. Yeah, it could. It was, apart from the holes blown in it, seemed to be largely intact. I think it was just underused, and it annoys me.
Well, Jim, I agree that they could have built some ships in 13 years. I don't know if they could have built 213. I just feel like the number for that scenario was too large for my comfort zone, and it broke from reality. That's my only issue.
I'll give you that, but if you remember, they were all identical. So I'm just picturing like a replicator assembly line where pieces just appear and move down, and so in that sort of a situation, they could just be churning out, ship after ship after ship,
200
because they're all exactly the same, right?
Right.
Why would the Romulans have lost any ships at all? Now, if you see this, if you detect that your star's going supernova...
Because of their star.
Yeah, if you detect that your star's going supernova, you just warp away.
Well, they were trying, I'm sure, to save, and I'm sure they lost some.
I would think they would lose some, but I don't know if they would lose the majority of their fleet. I get where Joe's coming from on this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Well, thanks, Jim, for your comment.
Mm-hmm.
We have a comment from Michael Bentley regarding our anniversary episode 47. And this is about Michael's favourite 47 reference. Picard sipping his brother's wine. Is this the 46? And Robert says the 47. And then later on, here is a little of the 47. Do not drink it all at once, and if possible, try not to drink it alone. Michael loves that comment. It's quite poignant because that's after Picard and Robert make up, or Jean-Luc and Robert make up, should I say.
In family, yeah.
Thank you for that, Michael.
Yeah. We also got a comment from Greg Molumby about our episode 47. He says, it's a great episode. I loved the math 47 references. The whole 359 thing took me for a loop. I thought I knew everything about TNG, but that was really cool. I might as well give my unpopular opinion that I gave you guys over the chat. I'm like Chrissie from the standpoint of not knowing there were really hated episodes until I joined the Trek online community. Heck, when I saw some of the negative reactions to season 7 of The Next Generation, it kind of took me by surprise. I did not hate Sub Rosa. Is it a good episode? Not really, but the hate it gets is pretty strong. It's not even my least favorite episode of the season. That honor goes to Liaisons, which I just found really annoying.
What's Liaisons again? Remind me.
With Jabril? Oh, no. That's Suspicion. Sorry.
Liaisons. Isn't that the one with Nella Darren?
No, that's Lessons.
No,
Lessons.
That's Lessons.
Let's find out. Liaisons is... alien dignitaries visit the ship. Picard's shuttle crashes on a desolate planet where he meets a woman who's been stranded there for 7 years.
What?
No.
It is season 7, episode 2. Yeah, this one rings no bells for me at all.
Me neither.
There are... yeah. I look forward to covering this in an upcoming Batleth battle because I really...
No, Liaisons, remember, that's the one where they have 3 like emissaries, and the one is hanging around with Troy and eating all the chocolate, and even Troy gets done with the chocolate. Yeah. And the other guy's hanging around Worf and trying to anger him, and the other one goes off and they get stranded, Picard, and his character plays this woman who falls in love and is trying to understand love.
Right.
Okay, got it now.
Yeah.
So all the pieces have just clicked into place. But from that synopsis, it doesn't really tell you much, does it?
No.
Wow, Greg, I don't mind that episode. I can see annoying with the chocolate and the Troy's liaison, but the other two, I don't know. That's interesting. Very interesting to know, Greg.
Thank you, Greg.
Well, like I said last week, I think a lot of what is perceived as hate is because some people just don't, they have a very narrow definition of what Star Trek is, and when it veers outside that linear concept, they get mad. So anything that might have comedy in it, or might be just different in another way, maybe it's a horror story or a romance, it just I think some people just don't think of that as good Star Trek.
I think sometimes also you get fixated on a part of the episode that you don't like, and you've got a tendency to blow it out of all proportion, which then has the effect of making the episode unwatchable and terrible.
Exactly. Well, thank you everyone for your comments. Why do not we move now on to our Bat-Leth battle?
Let's.
This is the captain. Senior officers will report to my ready room immediately.
All right, so it is time for our next Bat-Leth battle. 2 episodes go in, 1 come out. This week's 2 episodes are Season 3, Episode 6, Booby Trap, and Season 3, Episode 9, The Vengeance Factor. Now, normally I would have put the poll up early in the week. Things got away from me. I'm really sorry. So right now, we're going to do this live during the recording. The poll has gone out on Facebook and Twitter. So if you see it, if you have seen it, because we're talking a week ago now, vote. Vote now, vote often. And we'll let you know the results by the time we get to the end of this recording. So let us...
This is the best thing to happen
voting here.
To Bat-Leth battle. I'm sorry. This is just
wonderful.
Great.
So why don't we start by talking
results,
about Season 3, Episode 6, Booby Trap. Who would like to do the recap of Booby Trap?
I'll go with Booby Trap. Yeah? Is that okay, Amy?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's great.
So, in Booby Trap, the Enterprise arrives at this asteroid field, and there's a distress signal in the asteroid field, and they find this 1,000-year-old derelict ship. And Captain Picard assumes it's going to be safe to go over himself, well, not himself, but just go over in the first place with Worf and Data. I think it's those guys, to investigate, and they discover the dead crew from 1,000 years ago, and there's a message from the captain saying that I had a good crew, but we're stuck in this trap that was left by their ancient enemies. So it turns out that the Enterprise has gotten stuck in this same trap that these ancient enemies left there, and with no way to escape. The thing is that these energy zappers are taking all the Enterprise's energy away, and they can't leave. Anything they do, they're stuck in place. Also, they're giving off radiation and slowly killing the crew. So basically, it's a bit of a battle against time to come up with a solution to the problem, escape before they run out of energy and before everybody dies and gets irradiated. So that's the kind of A plot. The B plot is Geordie LaForge's romantic escapades, and while trying to find the solution to this problem that the Enterprise is stuck, which makes the episode super cringy. Yeah, that's about it. I think we can talk more in detail about why it's super cringy, but that's the nuts and bolts of what the episode's about. And there is a season 3, episode 7, and then another so many seasons after this, plus some movies, so we know that they do escape in the end, and they don't all die. Sorry. It was out in 1989, so the statute of limitations on spoilers is long past.
So I find it interesting that you said the A plot and the B plot, because whenever I think of Booby Trap, it's the Leah Brahms episode.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say the Leah Brahms is the A, and the B plot is them trying to get out. I don't know.
I suppose with them being so tied together, aren't they? It's Geordie and Leah Brahms working together to try and escape from this alien trap. So at that point, they can kind of converge and become one.
It is a valiant attempt to make a personal storyline feel really relevant to the Crisis of the Week storyline, you know? Geordie's romantic escapades directly affect how this whole story turns out, which is interesting. And I don't know how well they succeeded.
Mm-hmm. I think the whole thing with it being see if it was any other character and being a romantic kind of adventure for them, it would be okay. But I don't know why they've written Geordie as being so inept. He's so skilled at so many things to just have no, is it, I don't know what the right way to put it is it skills when it comes to romantic relationships. He has nothing. From the apparently Wesley describes it as the perfect holodeck program that he takes. What's her name? Christie? Yeah, and there's the beach at moonlight, and there's the violin players who look like
so
pirates.
There's Geordie's first problem. He took
Kokononos.
advice from Wesley Crusher on how to meet a lady. It's another character who we never see romancing anyone.
But we see a lot with Wesley.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, season 5 is the game, and we're in season 3. But he's got
the shape-shifting.
No. Oh no, the other one,
the dolphin,
the cute one that we just talked about. Yeah, season 2. Yeah, the dolphin. So it was interesting to know you were talking about why was it Geordie. Michael Pillar describes Geordie as the guy who fumbles around with women but is in love with his 57 Chevy. That's how Michael Pillar describes Geordie, and was the reason why they were originally going to have Picard fall in love with Leah Brahms, but then changed it to Geordie.
Okay.
Interesting, huh?
I don't really get what Michael Pillar's talking about, though. I don't know what that means. Like, I guess he's getting at the fact that he's an engineer first and foremost.
Right, yeah.
But we've never seen Geordie, like, be tongue-tied around anybody, right? He comes off...
Around girls.
Troy is a girl, and so is Beverly, and he's fine with them. Like, and Guinan.
Yeah, those are friends. But you know what I mean?
Friends and colleagues.
I know what you're saying, but this almost just feels like it's come out of nowhere. Like, we don't see everybody's romantic dalliances either. At this point, we haven't seen everybody's, and why they decided Geordie needed to have this affectation, I don't know, because he...
Wait a minute. I think we have Worf and Kaler.
Maybe we have, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Season 3, so we know Picard's going to get some. Hasn't yet, so I will give
Picard
you
Picard and Philippa Louvois by this point.
Oh, yeah, there you go. And we'll always have Paris.
Riker and anything that's female.
Yes, I know.
Yes.
Not even female.
And
just anything.
Troy was going to get married in Haven. We know that, well,
Beverly's
Crusher,
a widow.
we talked about the dolphin, right? Beverly hasn't had Odon yet in the host. But that's coming up. So Picard and Beverly, we haven't met theirs. Because Data and Tasha in Naked Now.
True.
So we've seen a lot of dating going on so far.
I guess.
So I think the problem we have with this is that it's just really ham-fisted and it doesn't make us feel comfortable or warm and cozy inside. It's just really, it starts out really cheesy and then becomes very quickly a bit creepy. And I had a conversation with Ewan earlier about, like, obviously that I think we're going to go this way. We don't have holodecks yet, but we certainly have VR, and there's talk of like deep fakes being produced, so you could have any famous person saying or doing anything, but it's not actually them. It's just all CGI and fakes. Is that okay? Like, could you have like I Love Amy? So could I have like a VR version of Amy that I just got to do whatever with? Is that right? It's not affecting.
No.
It's not affecting you in any way whatsoever. It's just, and you might never know about it. It's just my own personal plaything.
It's interesting though that doesn't come up in this episode. It doesn't come up until we meet the real Leah Brahms later on in the series, and she finds out
Galaxy's child.
She finds out that Geordi has done this. In this episode, that doesn't come up at all.
And I'm not so sure if it doesn't come up. It's kind of alluded to. So when Picard goes to visit Geordi on the holodeck and Leah Brahms is there, Picard's got a look on his face as if, like, you're supposed to be working at saving us all, but what the hell are you doing? There's something. It's like he can't quite put his finger on what's going on, but he thinks there's something a bit untoward.
Do you know what that look reminded me of? When he walks into the holodeck and Riker introduces him to Minuet in 100101. Yeah.
Interesting.
It's that same sort of thing that it's like, okay, here's this woman and looking at Geordi and Riker like, you understand this is a holodeck, right? Sort of that look.
Yeah, and some poor ensign from Lower Decks is going to have to flush out the toxic waste. Yeah.
So we always talk about these episodes in terms of guest stars and importance to canon. So why don't we talk about the guest stars here? There's really there are two. They're both of Geordi's lady loves, Chrissy, who we only see in the cold open on the holodeck, and Ms. Leah Brahms herself.
And the other guy, the captain.
Oh, that we see on the monitor.
Yes. Galek Sar. The captain's name was...
Dar.
What?
Galek Dar.
Oh, was it? Okay. I've obviously typed it wrong. Yeah. Played by Albert Hall, who has not been in any other Star Trek TV shows or episodes or movies, but he's been in some other TV things. Like a lot of Star Trek guest stars, he's been in a bunch of stuff before. Chrissy, is it Chrissy? I've written Christy. Is it Chrissy?
It's Christy.
Chrissy. Played by Julie Warner. Again, not been in anything Star Trek related apart from this.
Well, we do have the very first episode ever directed by a woman. We get that here.
Really?
Wow, that
Season 3.
Ooh, I'm kind of a bit shocked in a way.
That's all of TOS, all of TAS, and now 2 seasons of TNG to not have a woman director.
That's really interesting because I'm kind of a bit confused by that. I would have thought that it wouldn't have been a woman, given how uncomfortable it makes us feel. Geordi's playing about with Leah Brahms in that way.
And the whole thing with Leah being the engine, like that's just the creepy. When you look at the engine, you're looking at me.
Yeah.
When you touch the engine, it's me.
You're touchy. Oh. Yeah, so we have a woman directing this.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Well, I suppose she just had to direct the script that she was given.
Yeah.
Do you mean the director doesn't make script changes as far as I'm aware? So she's given this and
true.
she's probably looking at it going, what tosh is this? I have to work with.
So I'm wondering, okay, remember when Geordi... So the computer creates a person, Leah Brahms, but it's just, a body. And then Geordi asked the computer to pull from her personality tests and stuff that has taken at Starfleet and any of her debates and stuff. That's all fine and dandy. It just takes a leap too far to say, okay, a computer is going to be able to take everything that she has written or said in Starfleet and create a personality with only a 9% variance. There's no way that would really happen. Even that in the 24th century.
Well, I mean, the computer's probably got all her Facebook posts and tweets and probably her TikTok, so they would know. It would know.
And so the computer from all of those social posts is going to say, oh, Geordi's feeling stressful. Why don't I have Leah Brahms go up and massage his shoulders? Like, no, that's not.
I think that's where the 9 point whatever variance comes in.
Yeah.
The real Leah Brahms would not have done that because she is married.
Exactly.
We find out later. So.
It's almost like the computer has sensed what Geordi is sort of fantasizing about, right? Because he doesn't explicitly tell the computer that's what he wants, but it is creepy. It's creepy. Or maybe that's just what the holodeck computer is used to programming for people.
Yeah.
Like 9 out of 10 people who go to the holodeck want full body massages.
Well, and I think to your point, the holodeck is going to try and please the person giving the commands.
Yep.
Right? I mean, that's its design. It's not, yeah. So getting back to what you were saying, Kevin, with the importance to canon, I think Booby Trap, we get to see, what's it called? Planitia.
Utopia
Planitia.
Yep, that one. So we get to see a holodeck recreation of that. We get to see the crystals and how they're trying to rotate. I thought that was pretty cool. I think there's some really important connections to canon, and especially after watching Picard and reading the Picard novels, especially the first one, A New Hope or whatever, that really, all those words, Utopia Planitia, Mars, like all of that, shipyards, it was so cool. And so I think it's got a lot of connection to canon.
Oh, I agree.
Especially now.
I agree.
Also, in terms of canon connections, we have to talk about I keep on saying, is it Promelian or Promethean? I've written
Promelian.
I've written Promethean. See, it's my third mistake today. So the Promethean. What?
It's Promelian.
Promelian.
Yes.
Are we sure? Okay.
Yes, I'm reading from my Star Trek TNG companion.
I've written Promelian in one paragraph and then Promethean in another.
Well, then you were half right.
Yes, of course. So the Promelian battlecruiser was designed by Steve Berg and built by Ron Thornton in 1986, 3 years before the episode was made. But it wasn't made for Star Trek, it was made for the 1986 movie Night of the Creeps. Completely off.
That's not what I'm showing.
Yep.
I have the Promelian ship is a redress of the Husnock ship seen in Survivors. Remember the Husnock?
Kevin Uxbridge.
Yes.
And Rashawn.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks nothing like that.
Well, they said it's a redress.
So that's okay. So that's the bridge. So that would be, they would have redressed the set, but the model that we saw,
yeah, possibly that
could be two different things here.
Interesting. So it turns out, so the movie Night of the Creeps was produced by TriStar Pictures, and a guy called David Stipes was the visual effects supervisor for the movie, but he ended up, instead of trashing the model that they built, he ended up having it in his possession and taking it with him. We also worked on Star Trek for various at various points and doing various things. And at the time when they were making the booby trap, the normal store that they would go to get ship models, that company was busy doing the Hunt for Red October, which came out the year after this episode in 1990. So David Stipes, having worked with them before, said, listen, I've got this model of this ship that was used in a movie in 1986. You can have that and use it for the booby trap. It then went on to be used in 3 Deep Space Nine episodes as well. Sanctuary, Sons of Moog, and The Muse. Is that a random ship docked to the station? So there you go.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. And I guess the other real importance to canon in this episode is Leah Brahms herself, who does come back in a later episode.
Galaxy's
Child.
As real life Leah Brahms. Mm-hmm.
So. And
Susan Gibney plays Captain Benteen in the Deep Space Nine episodes Homefront and Paradise Lost. I mean, she's the captain of that Excelsior class starship that has the quantum torpedoes, and the Defiant go head to head and nearly destroy each other.
And she also almost got cast as Janeway. She was in the running for the part of Janeway on Voyager. So,
this was
and
after
the Borg Queen after that, yeah.
Yeah, this was after Genevieve Bujold had filmed the pilot and thought, yeah, this isn't for her. And so they had to go back to the people that they considered, Susan Gibney, Kate Mulgrew, and others, I would imagine. Did you, Kevin, mention the Borg Queen?
I did say the Borg Queen, yeah. I did not mention 7 of 9. But,
apparently Susan Gibney was in the running for 7 of 9 too.
Very talented actress, even if she was given some cringy things to say and do in this episode.
Talking about cringy things to say, can we talk about some of the quotes? So I haven't just watched the episode. It's like, did they drug the writers when they're writing it? Because some of the dialogue is just really cheesy.
Yeah.
Like we've talked about I'm with you every day, Geordie. Every time you look at this engine, you're looking at me. Every time you touch it, it's me. Blech. But then there's also some really good writing when Picard's talking about the ships and bottles. He's like, oh, good Lord, didn't anybody here play with ships when they were boys? And then I think it's Worf says, I did not play with toys. And Data says, I was never a boy. Which is quite comedic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Tell me something, Gaining. You're a woman, right? Yes, I can tell you I'm a woman. Just like, just weird dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
That scene about the ship in the bottle when they're just beaming over to the Promelian ship, it almost felt like O'Brien was trying to like suck up to the captain a little bit. Oh, I played with ships in bottles, Captain. Everybody else is like, no, that was. Oh, I did. Come here, Captain. Like, look at me.
Yeah, definitely reads like that. And then Picard comes back after the away mission, and he's standing at the back of the bridge, having just come off the turbo lift, and he says something that just doesn't feel right. He says. That was, what was it? That was truly exhilarating or something?
Yes, something like that.
Oh, he's like overly excited. I know he's an archaeologist and this is like an amazing archaeological find, but it just seems a bit out of character.
There's another single line that also, you could call it quite important to canon as well. Guinan says, I'm attracted to bald men. Mm-hmm. A bald man was once kind to me. So that's another like inkling that that Picard and Guinan have a past that maybe Picard doesn't even know about.
Because Time's Arrow hasn't happened yet.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And Data says, you have used the asteroid's gravitational pull as a slingshot. Excellent. Like,
but he didn't think of it himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not the best written episode of the series. Let's just say that.
Apart from all the Geordie stuff, I quite enjoy it.
Right. No, I see that. The sort of ship in peril plot is quite fun. Mm-hmm. But the Geordie stuff... Well, I believe that's probably enough talk about cringe. And moving on to the vengeance factor. Amy, do you want to let us know what your fancy book says about the vengeance factor?
Well, sure. I will give a summary. I won't read it. It's pretty long, but so the vengeance factor, the vengeance factor, the Enterprise. Gosh, I don't even know what's going on. They are picking up. There's two warring factions, and it happens to be like a civil war. And there's these gatherers, and they're causing havoc. And so they're like, come on, let's work towards peace. And you want to go back home, and these are your people. But there has been their history includes tribes and warring factions, and they're trying to overcome it. And so they get to meeting with the Akamarians and the gatherers. However, they find one of the gatherers dead, and they're like, oh my goodness, what happens? And so they investigate, and then they see a picture of this one dude who was the same tribe as the guy who died, and sees a picture of Uta. And Uta has been changed DNA down to her, structure, that she is going to absolutely go and kill all these one type of family. And what is that? What's another name?
They were clans.
Clans, yes, thank you. And they are able, Riker figures it out, and they are able to stop her because she was going to kill the last of the clan, Lornak, and Riker ends up shooting Uta. The top succeed, and peace is finally felt.
Yeah, so it took me a while to understand that as well. So the one clan had, way back in time, generations ago, had attacked another clan and basically wiped it out, but there were a few survivors. And of those five survivors, I think, they chose one to be kind of altered and survive, to go away and kind of seek vengeance and kill all the other members of this clan. And so that's what Uta is doing. Appears to be a young woman, but she's now kind of in a position of power as the kind of chief servant to the Queen of Prime Minister, President of this planet.
Our Akamarian.
The Akamarian head of state or whatever. Yeah.
Maruk,
yes. I quite like this episode in the same way that I like Booby Trap. However, I don't dislike this episode for the same reason I dislike the Booby Trap. And that...
What was cringeworthy about it?
Riker being all lechy.
Yeah.
See, when he meets Uta for the first time, literally speaks to her boobs.
Nah.
Watch it. He just stares her up and down, and he's like mid-sentence, and no eye contact. It's boob eye contact. It's just, and then he's like, Parthis a la Uta. And I was like, that's half French, half English.
Yeah, that was a little weird. It was just Riker. It's third season Riker.
Well, I want to talk about the guest stars here.
Okay.
Because
we have a lot, so let's talk.
So there's Lisa Wilcox, who plays Uta, Joey Oresco as Brull, Nancy Parsons as Maruk, and Stephen Lee as Chorgon. So Brull is the contact that they make with the gatherers, who takes them to Chorgon, who's the leader of the gatherers. Maruk is the head of the Akamarian people, and Yuta is her servant. So those are your 4 main ones. Yeah. I thought Brull was a terrible character and very poorly acted. Like, really? I did not like that guy's performance, especially his for some reason they paired him with Wesley a lot, and I just could not get past it. It just, there was something about his performance that I just didn't like. It was like he was trying to be charming, like Okana in the Outrageous Okana earlier, but he was a
barbaric Okana, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But with a bit of like Italian mafia.
Exactly. It's like we've seen this character before, but he was played better by a better actor the last time we saw him. And, I don't know. He just rubbed me wrong. That was the one character. The others were okay. Nancy Parsons as Maruk is the sort of very stern leader of her people who wants to bring these others back into the fold, but doesn't want to give up what her people have striven for. She was good. Yuta, she's trying to play the double layer there, right? Like trying to appear innocent while we know that she's actually the evil mastermind behind everything that's going on. And Chorgon was just, he was just big and brash, and but Brull just, I did not like him at all.
See, that's what's surprising, because I preferred Brull's character over Chorgon.
Really?
I felt like he was just this big lump on a log, not doing anything, and that Brull was the one who was like, yeah, I think we can, find some common ground, because he was the one who led them to Chorgon. So it's like, without Brull, and he had to, dance the dance between, I still need to appear strong and as a leader, but I want the conflict to end. So I quite enjoyed Brull's character.
They're a bit like those videos of wild feral dogs that people rescue, and the dog's like really aggressive but also really terrified at the same time, and they just want a nice kind of warm home to be part of. They just want to be loved. I thought that about the what did you call them? Not the settlers, the
gatherers.
The gatherers, yes.
Gatherers.
I felt like that they'd been this aggressive, barbaric, wandering kind of clan for too long, and didn't know what it was like to kind of live in peace and be civilized until they were offered things that they probably had no experience of, like be part of a community, kind of having land of their own and being taken care of in a way.
So can we still talk about the guests?
Yeah,
sure.
So Nancy Parsons, ashamed to say, I recognize her. She was on the Porky's series, if you recognize her from that.
It's a good place to know her from.
Yeah. Now, Lisa Wilcox, who is Utah. And I like this episode because of that name. It reminds me of my home state, Utah. Utah. Yep. She was on General Hospital and was in Freddy Krueger parts 4 and 5 of Nightmare of Elm Street. So if you recognize her there. Now, the one that I really want to talk about is a non-speaking part. And when Brull leaves and takes Maruk to meet Chorgon, he puts a gatherer in charge, hey, take over because I'm leaving. And that was Michael Lamper, who is Marina Sirtis's boyfriend. And they were married 2 years later in June of 92.
Who knew?
I can go to bed now. I've learned something new.
Couple of them have been in Star Trek before, or since this episode. So Stephen Lee, who played Chorgan, He was the alien bartender on Desika 2 in Gambit Part 1.
Oh, interesting. Okay, cool.
And also Mark Lawrence, who played Volnoth, he played the character, the kind of mafia character, Carl Zemo in Deep Space Nine's Bada Bing Bada Bang.
Mm.
And that is it. So only two, out of all those guest stars, only 2 have other Star Trek credits.
Interesting. Interesting. I kind of like the story of Vengeance Factor. It's an odd way for them to start, right? Like the episode started with an away team discovering a Federation outpost that had been ransacked by these gatherers, right? And we're told that the gatherers are a big problem in this part of space, that they attack ships. But they also don't seem to be that big of a threat to the Enterprise. So it's there's a bit of a dichotomy there with how powerful these gatherers are. But I do like the sort of reunification story that we've got going on here too, trying to get these people all back together. I think that's a sort of a nice touch.
It's interesting that the Prime Directive did not get brought up in this scenario, because this is clearly a civil war.
Mm.
Because the gatherers were once, it's their factions
right
within the same species. So they are one species, and a civil, they're trying to reunite. It's the same thing with reunification, wouldn't you say?
Yes, but in this case, the Civil War has spilt over and is affecting other civilizations, right? Because the gatherers are attacking Federation outposts and ships. So I would say that gives the Federation reason to get involved.
Mm-hmm.
And are the Federation only involved as like the middleman, kind of an arbiter kind of thing? There to facilitate transport and provide a space for them to meet that's safe.
But it also feels like
territory.
This is only being done at the behest of the Federation too, right? Picard shows up and says, okay, we need to do this now. Like it doesn't seem like... I guess plans were being made, but I think they were accelerated because of the presence of the Enterprise and Picard.
And also remember, because Brule asks for amnesty, so they are involved that way.
Mm-hmm. Do we have any major canon connections with the Vengeance Factor?
Whew. This is a standalone episode.
Yes. Yeah. We don't really hear about the Gatherers ever again, do we?
No. It was interesting when I was, trying to find it on which season it was in. I seriously thought this was a season 2 episode. And I kept searching and searching, but it feels like with sort of how basic the story is, just boiled down to vengeance. Mm-hmm. We're going to discuss this one story plot. Sort of seems more reminiscent of the original series in season 1 and 2. That's why I really thought this was a season 2. It just is very on the nose, warring factions, try and get them together. Someone's, went crazy and we got to take care of them. And then we get together and fly off happily ever after. There's no complexity, I guess I should say.
You're right. It is pretty black and white, isn't it? It's not...
Yeah.
It's no shades of gray.
That's right. Even that had more nuance.
Yeah.
I think the complexity from this episode comes from the plot that Utah has hatched. I mean, how an Enterprise have to kind of do everything they can to try and figure it out, and it was like a virus that was specifically encoded to the DNA of a certain family, i.e. a certain clan, and then kind of digging through all the archives, Dacumerian archives, to figure out that it was Utah 50 years ago. I like that. There was a bit of intrigue there.
Was it specifically stated that the sort of modifications Yuta had done to herself are what allowed her to withstand Riker's phaser? Like, I don't understand why she couldn't have been stunned. Instead, it looked like she was disintegrated. Was it because of her modifications?
I think so, because she was shot.
Yeah, he
times.
kept raising.
First was a stun, then stun on medium power, and then
microwave.
You forced my hand. Yeah.
She could maybe not, because she's got viruses in her fingers. Thinking Riker could have just gone up and kind of smacked her one, knocked her out.
Where were the? Were there only like the 3 or 4 people there at that table? Like there was nobody.
At the table?
Was there nobody there that could have,
Well, remember, because Riker beamed down once they figured out, so
shot the guy.
No one was.
And
really
there was
around.
there was no, like, neither the Akamarians nor the Gatherers had anybody there who could subdue her. Like nobody thought to like charge at her and grab her or bear hug her.
Well, they didn't know. And
no, I mean after Riker showed up, right? Like Riker showed up and they all just sort of sat there while it's
right.
It just was a very strange setup with them all just sort of sitting at the table. Riker shows up with a weapon, and even Picard just sits there. Oh, I'm sure he has a good reason for this. Now, I did read in some of the production notes that the director wanted to have Picard in the shot when the phaser went off, and that involves the actor having to sit still for quite a while because of the way they had to overlay the effects. So it looks like Picard is really just sitting there watching and doing nothing and not reacting at all to his first officer murdering a woman in front of him. But but that was a production reason, and according to Memory Alpha, Patrick Stewart never really liked the way that ended up looking. And I get it, you would have thought that somebody would have stood up or I don't know. It just felt like somebody is firing a phaser at somebody else, and the rest of them just sat there. Nobody moved. It just seemed weird to me.
I did wonder why Picard literally just sat as still as a rock.
Yeah, it was for technical reasons, not for any kind of acting reason.
Makes sense.
Anything else we need to say about the vengeance factor?
I don't think we've covered it all.
All right, so that brings us to the debate and the vote. So, does anyone have anything that they'd like to say on behalf of one of these episodes over another?
I will start.
Okay.
I have bounced back and forth. I thought for sure I was going to vote for Booby Trap. And then I was like, no, I'm definitely going Vengeance Factor. And now I just don't really know. So I'm going to try and talk myself into a final decision. So what I like about both of these episodes is you really had to think outside of the box to get a solution. And both episodes remind me of the Chinese finger. Remember when Data put him on his fingers and he couldn't get out because he was trying to pull? But when you pull, it gets tighter, and so you can't get your fingers out of this little contraption. And especially Booby Trap, but also Vengeance Factor, it's sort of the same push and pull going on. Like with Booby Trap, whenever they gave energy, it was absorbed, and so they couldn't move. And so you had to almost go at it from opposite. Like, we had to think outside of the box of, if we're going to try and navigate between the reaction time, let's see if we can do that, or let's slingshot. I loved that solution where Picard's taken the Enterprise and there's like, we're not going to be able to clear the asteroid field that's with all of those energy radiation devices, and Picard slingshots the Enterprise around the asteroid with the gravity, increased inertia, whatever. I thought that was so great. But sort of the same thing with the vengeance factor where, you know, recognizing and understanding the clan wars and not thinking, oh, well, those are over. No, you sort of have to think backwards and like, okay, these clans were really going at it. Who wants Chorgon dead? Who wants this one gatherer dead? They belong to a specific clan. And so they sort of had to, well, Yuta, like, wouldn't even consider her, but now we have to. And again, thinking outside of the box for that solution. So with all of that said, I'm going to vote for Booby Trap, even though I think the guest stars were more important. But I'm giving it for the Star Trek canon with Leah Brahms and seeing Utopia Planitia and the shipyards and that whole ship design.
Okay. Joe, would you like to vote next?
I think, for me, both of these episodes are kind of even Stevens. I both like them because they've got that puzzle to solve and that ensemble cast required to solve the problem. I've mentioned why I dislike both of them. Geordie's just cringy attempts at romance, and then Riker's creepiness with Yuta. So for those reasons, they're both score evenly. However, I'm going to vote for the Booby Trap simply because it's got the more kind of sciencey space story related to it, as opposed to the political intrigue of the vengeance factor. So Booby Trap has it for me. Kevin?
Okay. Well, I will make it unanimous then. Mostly, again, like Amy said, because of the canon connections, because we get to see the creation of the Enterprise. We learn about how it was built. Also, Leah Brahms becomes a recurring character, so there's that too. Nothing in vengeance factor. If the Gatherers had been an ongoing threat through part of the season, or if this was something that we ever heard about again, I might give the edge to that one, but it doesn't. We never hear about the Akamarians ever again after this episode. Otherwise, these two episodes are completely even in my mind. Neither one is better than the other. They're just middle of the road next gen episodes. And these kinds of episodes are part of the reason why we started this series, so that we could talk about these episodes, because they don't get talked about very much. So I'm very excited. I'm very glad that we were able to talk about these two. So that means that by a score of 3-0, Booby Trap is going to go on to the next round. I will tell you that we have been doing a quick poll both on Facebook and in our host chat and on Twitter. Did we get some Twitter responses, Amy?
We do, and out in Twitterverse, it will also remain unanimous. We have Booby Trap with 60% and the Vengeance Factor 40%.
On Facebook, again, the poll's only been up for an hour. It's a dead heat. 2 votes for Booby Trap, 2 votes for Vengeance Factor, with one great comment from Dan Galea, who says Booby Trap gets the edge because of Ron Jones' music while they escape the asteroid field. He says, like all of his early music, it takes what could be mundane or silly science fiction sounding and builds tension. So that's why he gave it to Booby Trap.
Interestingly, now that I hear that comment being verbalized, the music did jump out at me when I was watching it earlier. It's a very good point, Annie. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. We also did a quick poll in our host chat from all the UFP hosts, and it was unanimous for Booby Trap. We had five responses there for Booby Trap. So
5-0.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
With Zach saying that Vengeance Factor is terrible, haha.
Yeah, I won't go so far as to say it's terrible. I just will say
no, I won't either.
It's middle of the road.
Yeah.
It was. I was that close to going Vengeance Factor. Like I said, yesterday I was convinced I was going to vote Vengeance Factor.
Well, let's see what Booby Trap is going to be going up against in the next round. It is going up against The Battle.
Ooh. The Batleth Battle of the Bees. Booby Trap and The Battle. Yeah.
That's one of the Ferengi episodes from season 1.
I like The Battle. It's scary. I worry for Picard.
Yeah, and we'll see how it does against Booby Trap. That's going to be an interesting one. The next Batleth battle coming up after this one in a few weeks will be... These are two really interesting episodes, and I like both of them. So, The Most Toys versus Devil's Due.
Oh.
You guys, I'm going to be sick for that one. I'm calling in a sub already because there's no way to make a decision. I love them both. They're so... Oh, man. I'm going to be out.
Yeah.
I'm sure of it.
Those are two good ones. So be sure to tune in for our next Batleth battle, which will be Devil's Due versus The Most Toys. Fun.
Incoming transmission.
We would love to hear your thoughts on today's show, and we hope you will join the Facebook group Federation Council Chambers. You are welcome to start conversations with us or add any general Star Trek info you want to share with the group.
If you'd like to send us an email, you can email the network at galaxyclass@ufp.earth, and we will read your email on the show.
Please hit the subscribe button on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts and leave us a star rating and written review. That helps others to find the show. You can also follow the entire network's podcasts with our master feed by searching United Federation of Podcasts. This way you won't miss any of our fine shows like All Good Things, Franchise Fatigue, Always Hold On to Arrow, History with the Szilagys, Sasquatch, Infinite Diversity, and TrekPod. So Amy, where can people find you when you're not preparing parthas a la Amy?
Well, oh my gosh, I do love to cook. So when I'm not in the kitchen cooking, you can find me here hosting on this network. All Good Things. I'm also on Union Federation, where we talk about the Orville and Next Gen. Very exciting, you guys. We're going to be talking about the enemy and the fishes, that episode on the Orville. It's a long one. I can't remember something about fishes. So it's really good. If you enjoy the Orville, would love to have you listen to that podcast. I am on Twitter at Miss Amy Nelson. And of course, you can find me there in the Facebook group page.
So Kevin, where can people find you when you're not deciding on the recipe for Coco Nunos? And what is that recipe?
It's got to involve Malibu rum. So I'm sure there's that. And maybe some, I don't know, mango juice? Pineapple would be a pina colada, so I didn't want to go there. But if I'm not practicing my mixology, you can find me on True North Nerds, where we talk about general nerdiness, or Stage Whispers, the local theater podcast. You can find me in the Federation Council Chamber, on Twitter at True North Nerds, and on TikTok at KevinGS71.
And Joe, where can people find you when you are deciding if it's Prometheus or Promelius?
Or Promelian.
It's Promelian.
Promelian. Yeah.
What are those words you're saying? Prom?
Joe,
you're asking me to prom?
Where can people find you?
We're both way too
when you're
old.
not going to prom with me at STLV.
Will you buy me one of those little flowers I put on my wrist, a corsage?
Yes, and I'll get you a cocoa nose too.
A cocoa nose, which have apparently Malibu and mango juice, which sounds delicious.
And Sprite.
But when I'm not deciding how to say Promelian or Prometheus, You can email me, joepodcast@gmail.com. You can tweet me on the Twitter at joeyjoe77uk, or you can get me on the Federation Council Chambers.
Priority 1 message from Starfleet coming in on secured channel.
If you'd like to help us keep all our shows coming to you each week, you can become a patron of the network on Patreon. Visit patreon.com/UFPearth to get all the details.
We would like to recognize our executive producers, Brandon Shea Mutella, Ken Tripp, Zach Moore, and Tony Robinson. We would also like to thank Zach Tripp for our opening and closing music, and Tony Robinson for our amazing artwork.
Thank you for beaming aboard the Galaxy class, and until next time,
great joy and gratitude.
As the Sovereign has no further need for my services this evening, she suggested I might spend some time with you. Blech.
Is it possible that we've fallen into the same snare that killed them? 1,000-year-old booby trap? Bum bum bum!
Dun dun dun!
Engage.
This has been a production of MTMR Media Works.
Okay. I heard the implied please there.
Yes, that was implied. Sorry, Rhea.
Edit all this
for
out.
this editing.
Yeah.
Yes,
She volunteered.
Okay.
Rhea, continue to edit this out.
So,
Okay.
Rhea has
Right.
decided...
Yeah, Rhea, you're still editing this bit out. Keep editing. Rhea's a pee-pee head. Did you like...
My mouse.
Did you like my dinosaur names I gave to you guys?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Rhea, you're still... Okay. Rhea, you're still editing this out. Okay, Rhea, this is where we're starting to talk again.
And Rhea gets to have fun editing. Cut this out.
Thanks, Rhea. We love you. I should have had this prepared. I'm sorry.
He's apologizing to you, Rhea.
I'm apologizing to everyone. I'm Canadian. Sorry.
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 No, I won't be cringy. Okay. Sorry, Rhea.
So, Kevin, where can people find you when you're not touching? Where can people find you, Kevin, when you're not touching me?
Oh, see why I said I'm not going cringy?
What is in a Coco No?
Okay, Kevin, answer his
Malibu?
question.
Oh. Okay. What was the question?
Okay, Rhea, you can start now.